What's your poison? What's your pleasure? Oh, my city, she never sleeps. My city, she never weeps. My city, she keeps me alive. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, 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 oh. Give it up. My city, my city. My city, my city. Where do you go when your heart's with a fever? When she's cruel, but you won't leave her. Oh, here we are, all the freaks and believers, all the sweet neon dreamers. Oh, my city. My city, she never sleeps. My city, she never weeps. My city, she keeps me alive. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, oh. Give it up for my city, oh, 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 oh. Give it
What's the story, SmackDown fans? Tonight's topics on the Wrestle Story include
R-Truth, two-time 24/7 champion,
Lacey and Charlotte no more.
Brian and Rowan on a mission to save the tag division.
All that and more coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Wrestle Story, where we discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and after every pay-per-view.
Sorry. I was trying to make sure my volume on my phone wasn't on.
By the way, if you hear crackling and thundering, that's because we have crackling and thundering
It's
going on
thundering in the
outside.
background. So, sorry about that, if you guys can hear it. It's pretty loud, like when it does, it's
Thunder.
close. So, just ignore that. Tonight, SmackDown. Wow. I thought this was a better show than yesterday.
Yeah, it was okay.
I think it was a better show than yesterday.
Well, it's hard to not be better.
It was better than yesterday. We're going to leave it at that.
All right, it was better than yesterday.
You kind of want to argue that, but it was better than yesterday. Yesterday was kind of a snore fest and wasn't great.
Yeah.
So this is a tiny bit of a step up from yesterday. Still not great, but it was better than yesterday. So we started the show off with a good old recap of last week when Mr. Ziggler decided to attack Kofi Kingston. So the same recap we've seen for the last
Two shows?
two
Two shows?
shows.
Yeah, something.
They showed it yesterday and they showed it today.
Yeah.
Woohoo, great. So we got that, and then we have Kevin Owens, who comes out, and we're getting ready for Kevin Owens versus Kofi Kingston, and I was like, what? We're opening the show with a match? I can't believe this. This is absolutely nuts. I would have never guessed that would be what we were doing. But then we get a video package while Kevin is making his entrance about Kofi and Kevin's rivalry, dating back to Fastlane, I think.
Yeah.
So we got that. That was, exciting. Another video package. It took 5 minutes or so. And then KO gets on the mic. He says, I was going to open the show with the KO show, but you people here in Oklahoma, you are not worthy. He says, I had nothing to do with Big E's attack last week, as Kofi said I did, and Big E said I did, but I didn't. I'm a good person, and I would never do something like that. Then he says, at Super Showdown, Dolph will beat Kofi and become the WWE champion, and then I will beat Dolph for that championship because it always comes back to me. I always will be the WWE champion. Kofi comes out to tell him, that tonight you're going to pay for attacking E and attacking Woods week in and week out. And then we get the match that gets started. But before we can get, too far in the match, because we wouldn't want to do that, we got a commercial break. How exciting. I love the commercial breaks. They're my favorite part of the show. No.
Especially in the middle of a match. Oh,
I know, right? Everybody loves that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Kofi ends up getting the win after he hits KO with the Trouble in Paradise, and then, it was cool. Kofi got the win. We kind of started the show with a match. Match got started, I guess, 10 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
But it was close enough to the beginning.
Yeah.
Closer than yesterday.
Again, why are we doing this every week?
What?
Just the whole idea of, these same wrestlers keep wrestling each other. You're not creating storylines by having
I was going to say, I think this is an attempt at a former storyline that they're trying to continue.
Well, that's fine, but you've had Kevin Owens and Kofi going at it now for the last, 3 or 4 weeks or whatever.
It might be longer than that. Since Fastlane.
I mean, so the whole idea behind this, yeah, definitely.
SmackDown was a little better than Raw. That's not saying much. That's what I said. Before you get too far, that's not what you said. I said it was better. You were like...
Well, I said it was a little step up, but it wasn't much. I mean, there's not much, but I also said...
Don't lie to the people!
What do you mean don't lie?
Don't lie to the people!
Well, we'll go back and check the video, because I said that it was better, but, I mean, it's hard to get worse than what it was yesterday.
I mean, yeah, but you didn't say it was better.
Well, because I wasn't real impressed with it. I mean, the things they're doing, they're not building anything up. This Kofi KO thing is not building anything up.
Yeah.
The whole Dolph and Kofi thing should be all E and Kofi. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
So Kofi ends up getting the win in the match.
Good match.
Hits KO with the Trouble in Paradise, and he gets the win. Again, it's not about the match, because you could throw matches out there. It's about storytelling and making people interested in what you're doing.
Yeah. So next we have the good old R-Truth and Carmella video from backstage. We have R-Truth who's hanging out with Carmella, obviously. They're like chatting about, and then R-Truth's like, wait, I hear somebody. And they run into this like laundry room or something like that. I think that's what the door was labeled. And then the superstars, they come running through. No, that wasn't this one. Well, sorry, getting ahead of myself here. That was the next promo. That was the next R-Truth one, because he was without Carmella.
Yeah, and
this one was Drake Maverick walking down the hallway, sticking posters on the wall. And I was like, oh, you were so close. You were so close. He was right there.
Yeah.
You almost had him. You just missed him. Then he got on Twitter afterwards. Maverick got on Twitter and he was like, seriously? He was in the laundry room? I walked right past there. I put a sign on that door. You couldn't have told me sooner?
I don't get...
I love it.
Again, it's fine, but, they're using this gimmick too much. And people are going to get tired of it.
I disagree.
But they showed it 3 times today?
They did.
4 times?
But...
They showed it several times yesterday?
I feel like...
You're telling me that people aren't going to get tired of this?
No, but they're not even like that long of a segment.
Okay, but, there goes R-Truth. Woo, let's kill 2 minutes here.
And
we do that
so
4 times.
It's not a huge deal to me.
So
I don't have a problem
8 to 10 minutes of the show. We could have, EC3 wrestling somebody.
Well, I don't have a problem with it.
I mean, I don't know. So after the video, we have a Daniel Bryan and Rowan interview. He says the tag team division is a joke, which is true.
It's true. And then he said that Rowan had a joke, and Rowan was like, knock knock. Who's there? The SmackDown tag team division. The SmackDown tag team division who? Exactly! It was so funny. I thought it was funny. Because it's absolutely 100% true. There is no tag team division.
Well, overall, there really is no tag team division in wrestling, or in WWE right now.
There really isn't.
Not that there couldn't be.
Yeah.
They just don't do anything with them.
Yeah. Brian then says that they're on a mission to save the tag team division and save the planet after they pretty much trashed Oklahoma. for, earthy stuff.
Yeah.
Eating meat and killing animals and things of that nature. Didn't write all that down. So, mission to save the tag team division and save the planet. And then Kayla, who is interviewing them, she says that there's some tag teams who want to challenge you, I hear. And then we give Heavy Machinery, who comes out, and they say, our business here is those tag team championships, and we want them. And Brian is like, well, we accept your challenge. Just not here. We're not doing it here in Oklahoma. Thoroughly expecting there to be a match. No, I won't. No, I won't.
Daniel Bryan's not going to...
He's not going to Super Showdown.
No.
I didn't think about that. Next week, maybe?
Possibly.
I
don't know,
Roadblock.
but
What's that pay-per-view called?
What's
The
happened?
next pay-per-view?
What's happened to the Viking Experience?
They have...
Fell off the planet.
They're not the Viking Experience.
Well, whoever they are.
The War Viking Raider Experience.
Yeah, whatever. They fell off the planet. They brought them up, gave them a little run, took the titles away from them on NXT, and now they're nowhere.
See,
Just like every other person that comes up from NXT. With the exception of Ricochet.
And Andrade.
Yeah, okay, and Andrade. But for the most part, you've got a handful of people that don't get up there and they don't use them.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. Don't understand
They
why. Why are you? If you're not going to use them, don't bring them up.
Bro, you made me orange. You stuck your hand up there. See, now I gotta go.
Sorry, man.
And now, I'm orange again! What the heck, bro?
I 100% agree. I've been saying that for a long time, Anthony. Have I not been saying that for a long time?
Yeah.
You made your own self orange there.
See, there you go. We fixed it. We fixed it.
I don't understand, what they're doing with the whole... who knows? I mean... There's no storylines. There's no thought process in any of this, and what they're doing.
No, there isn't. And
it's frustrating because you have
our standpoint, because we do the show and stuff, and we're like, oh, well, we don't have much to talk about if the show is absolute trash. But at the same time, I'm like, we should just enjoy it.
Well, that's fine, but I want good storylines. I want to see the storylines being developed.
I do too.
I don't want to see the same matches week in, week out, and then they go, oh, by the way, they're going to wrestle at, our next pay-per-view.
I agree with that. It does get boring when you see the same people over and over again. But I don't know.
Why do you think they're hurting so bad right now?
Because they're not doing...
Because there's no storylines. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the matches are just terrible. Because there is no storyline to it. Let's just throw these two wrestlers together.
Or it doesn't make it a terrible match. It just means there isn't any storyline behind it. It doesn't make the wrestling terrible or the match terrible.
But why do people watch wrestling?
To be entertained, and I understand that.
They like some people will watch it because of the matches, but very few people want the storylines to go with the match.
I understand that.
And they just don't do it right now.
I don't know if WWE is really... I mean, I know they're, worried about AEW, but AEW right now, they don't have a TV show, and so are they really worried about AEW taking over when they don't have a weekly thing that they're fighting up against yet?
No, but there is definitely a show coming.
I know there is a show coming,
it's not
so
they
should
it's not
be...
gonna be here.
No, but what I'm saying is they should be making things better, but there's always that possibility where they're like, oh, well, they don't have a show coming till the fall, and so we don't have anything to worry about, and so just keep doing what you're doing.
But they have 2 more pay-per-views to put stuff together, and they've put enough stuff on YouTube to tell storylines and tell about matches that are coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and WWE is not doing that, which is disappointing.
They do better in a 5-minute video than WWE does in 3 hours.
I get it. So next we have Mandy and Sonya backstage. And they're handing out Mandy's Muscle and Fitness Hers magazine that came out last week or something like that. She was on the cover of magazine, and so, she's big stuff now. I still want them to split them up.
But again, here's a segment that probably wasn't necessary.
No, but it kind of led into their match. We got Mandy versus Carmella again. Last week we didn't get to see the whole match because R-Truth was at ringside, and so everybody came and attacked him. But this week it was an actual match, and Mandy got the win after Sonya helped with the distraction. So Mandy won, and the way she got the distraction, boy, I can't say distraction. Distraction, boy, oh boy. The way she got the distraction was by using the magazine, and I think they were kind of foreshadowing at that with the segment backstage. So then we get our Truth segment. We have Jinder Mahal, who tries to pin good old R-Truth, but Truth does not let it happen. Truth then hides in like a photo booth, and the rest of the roster runs through. And then Drake Maverick, Truth gets out of the photo booth and is like, oh, well, they're gone, I'm all good. Drake Maverick comes running through, being the last guy on the totem pole, of course, and he runs into Truth. His flyers go everywhere, and they both fall on the floor, and Truth is like, oh, sorry, was handing him the papers, and then he looked up, and Drake Maverick looked up at him and was like, ha, it's you, and then Truth was like, oh no, and ran out of there. It was so funny. I thought it was really funny. And then Truth realized who it was, and they ran out.
Yeah.
Then we got Aleister Black promo. In this promo, one line that stood out was he said that I'm waiting for anyone to pick a fight with me. Later on in the evening, we had Buddy Murphy on Twitter, who happened to be in a dark match, I think, today. Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. He put up a tweet and said, I'll fight you, Aleister. So, I mean, I don't know what we're leading up to there with Aleister Black, but he's, I'm waiting for anyone to pick a fight with me.
Yeah.
So.
Again, hopefully they use him and utilize it, but who knows? I mean, they had Aleister Black going, and then...
Well, for 2 weeks there, he wasn't on TV at all, and he's not going to be used at Super Showdown because they won't let him go because of his tattoos.
Yeah.
And so they're probably going to wait to do anything with him until after they get back.
Yeah. So then we have Shane Appreciation Night.
A holiday I cannot get behind, unfortunately. Sorry, people.
Again,
I don't understand the
we're
point.
Putting all this stuff with Shane McMahon out there,
dumb.
And I don't get it.
This entire segment was stupid, okay? It gets real stupid towards the middle of it, but Shane has Elias and Drew with him, and then Shane shows a My Career video, and segments and bits and pieces of everything he's done back in the 2000s. He's like, I came back to run my family-owned business. I did it for my dad, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and, he's like talking about his career and blah, 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 things we don't care about. And then R-Truth and Drake Maverick come running through the crowd. They get in the ring, and Shane and everybody's just, like, looking at him like, excuse me, this is my show, my appreciation night. And R-Truth ends up, we have a little match between Drake Maverick and R-Truth, where he successfully defends his 24/7 championship. And then Drew McIntyre, Shane, and Elias lead the beatdown of R-Truth. And then Elias becomes a 24/7 champion. I was like, what did you just do? You idiots! Why on the planet of Earth did you just take that belt off of R-Truth?
Because nobody takes Elias seriously.
I don't care. Why? It was working for Truth. You don't need to put it on Elias. Elias is playing this I'm a goon thing with Shane. I don't care. At this moment in time, I was like, I used to like you, Elias. I don't know if I like you anymore.
Well, that's why they made a big deal out of it, so...
Because you're stupid.
Yeah.
And you took R-Truth's 24/7
It was an okay
championship.
segment as far as that part goes.
I didn't like
the
it.
whole Shane thing I don't like. I didn't
like it because I took the championship off of R-Truth.
Well, that's why you didn't like it. I mean, it's not because it wasn't a good segment necessarily. or at least part of it was.
Shane is done.
You know,
he needs to go
since
away.
they're doing this thing with this title, this 24/7 title, I would say that this is probably a good spot and a good thing to do with it.
Yeah.
So then we have a Lacey and Charlotte video. They're basically drinking tea.
Drinking some tea. T Generation X remastered. Sure, Becky's got to be excited about that.
You know, all they did, they talked about Lacey fighting Bayley.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, kind of what that segment was about. Then we have Lars.
It was announced.
Lars will fight the Lucha House Party at Super Smackdown. Why? I don't know.
Super Smackdown.
Or Super
Showdown.
Showdown. Super Showdown.
Smackdown.
This as well be Super Smackdown.
Why?
Why are they doing this?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I called this like 2 weeks ago, or Money in the Bank. I don't even remember what it was. I was like, Lars Sullivan's first match in the ring is gonna be against Lucha House Party. It's going to happen. Yeah, I know. That's Elias' first championship ever in WWE.
Yes.
He should have been Intercontinental Champion a long time ago, but I digress. I said Lars Sullivan was going to face the Lucha House Party in his first match. What is he doing? Facing the flipping Lucha House Party in his first match. This is dumb.
I have a feeling he's gonna lose.
He's gonna lose?
That's what I have a feeling.
That would be stupid, because he can flat out destroy those muffins in 2 minutes
Well,
flat.
he can, but he's also, you know, he's also destroyed him like 3 weeks in a row or whatever, and 2 weeks in a row, and now they're gonna put a match out there. If all they're gonna have him do is destroy them every time, what is the point?
I know, but why give the Lucha House Party a win over Lars Sullivan? It makes no sense.
Know,
it makes Lars Sullivan look like a wimp.
Why does WWE do a lot of the things they do?
I don't know, but how
why
does
does
that
it make him
any
look
sense?
like a wimp? He's
No,
wrestling
but
three
no,
guys.
No. How does that make any sense whatsoever if he's been destroying them the last 3 weeks? But then they are able to, like, pin him and defeat him. Like,
I don't know how they'll do it, but I just have
it just makes no sense
have
to me.
Lars lose.
It's stupid. Stupid is what it is. So then we get Bayley versus Lacey with Charlotte on commentary. So, long story short, Charlotte gets involved in the match, and it leads to Bayley getting the win.
Yes.
And then, after the match is over, good old Lacey attacks Charlotte, and Charlotte then plants her, because that's where she should be.
I thought maybe they're going to have them be a tag team. But,
I thought they were too, but maybe that'll be Lacey's next feud.
It looks like that's where they're headed. Now, as long as they don't do this every week, where these two are facing each other, they can turn this into a storyline.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with it. Yeah, it's a storyline I think would be good, because I think Charlotte can help get Lacey over better.
Well, that's what yeah.
And then eventually I think she'll go back after Becky.
Well, because Charlotte's pretty just to look at it, like, in comparison to Lacey and Becky, because Becky is super over with the fans and Lacey isn't, because they're not having any of that. No matter who you put up against Becky, they're not gonna like you.
Well, no.
But then putting her against Charlotte is to be looked at as a heel. So would they be making Lacey face in that storyline, or is it going to be heel
versus heel
against heel?
I don't
and then
know,
who would the crowd get behind?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the fact is, you create a storyline out of it. You can have a good storyline out of it and not have to worry about, heel or face or whatever you want to call it. You can have a good storyline out of it, and people can be interested in it.
Yeah,
and I'm
looking at
hoping,
it from a standpoint of maybe it gets the fans behind Lacey because people hate Charlotte that much.
Well, I'm hoping that they do something with it and they make it interesting, because I think that's the key, is making it interesting, making people want to watch it, and not putting it out there every week.
Yeah. So then it's announced that The Undertaker will return next Monday on Raw. I'm glad he showed up, 4 days before he's supposed to wrestle at Super Showdown.
Yes. These next 4 segments, I don't understand why. Then we have RKO and Triple H video.
The one that we've seen the last.
Yeah. And then we have an
umpteen weeks.
Andrade interview.
Talking about Finn Balor and his IC title match
Yes.
at Super Showdown.
With nothing to it other than just talking. Then we have the Firefly Funhouse from yesterday. So you had 4 segments in a row there that probably, or 4 things that are in a row that probably really didn't need to be, talked about. They're talking about The Undertaker coming back next Monday because they're trying to draw people in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason that they're doing it. Otherwise, they should have just waited and said, we got a surprise next week or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're hoping that having The Undertaker there will bring out people to see it.
And generally, when they have The Undertaker come back anyways, they don't leave it a surprise. They straight up tell you that he's coming back.
But I don't understand, why, if they're just going to tell you, then why? Just have him show up.
They always do.
So then we get to the Roman
The main event.
and Truth versus Drew and Elias.
Which they announced right after Drew had demolished Elias. Drew had demolished Truth, and then Elias won the 24/7 championship.
Yeah.
Now, the way this works here is that Elias's 24/7 championship rules were not going to be in play from the time that match was made to the end of that match.
Which is funny because, the whole idea of 20... Now you've just messed up the belt. Because 24/7 means 24/7.
Shane.
Not I change the rules when I want to. It's 24/7.
What gets me,
so
what makes it even funnier is the fact that R-Truth had a running gag that he was like, oh, I have a meeting with Vince McMahon to change the rules of these European 24/7 championship so then I don't have people following me around everywhere. Running joke. Nothing ever got changed. But now with Elias, it's like, oh, poof.
Well, it's
poof.
because...
You work with me. You work with me, and so the rules are broken.
Well, I don't get, again, this is what
Stupid.
turns people off. You just throw stuff out there. There's no direction with it. And it doesn't make sense. So Roman and Truth get the win.
Yeah.
And then after
that,
the match,
Roman being the good Samaritan he is,
he helps Truth win back his 24/7 championship. Which it tells you a lot about the 24/7 championship because Roman Reigns isn't trying to get it. He's trying to help someone else get it. Exactly, Anthony. The 24/7 title is worthless with the way they're doing it. When they change the rules and say, okay, now it's not going to count because we're going to give you 30 minutes or whatever.
No, the other funny thing is that Drew didn't go for the title either. He was the one
so
who
what is it- so
mostly
what is it-
attacked Truth, but then
well, yeah, I mean that's just it. They made it completely obvious that it's a joke belt because if it wasn't a joke belt, then Roman or Drew McIntyre and Elias would have been going at it when R-Truth was in the ring because they would have been coming after him to get a pin so they could win the title.
yeah, so then good old R-Truth could have just made a run for it.
Yeah, I mean
As he always does.
And so, but they didn't, and so it says
It's his joke
which
belt.
is why Elias won it. Because I think that they think that Elias is a joke, and they're using him as a joke, and so it's. I guess it is what it is. It's the belt means nothing. They changed the rules for it, and so, which is like a lot of the issues that WWE has is they change things up. So we talked about things possibly getting better. And
well, what makes me upset is that people were like so hyped for this week's shows. They were like, Double or Nothing just happened. This week's shows, they gotta be good. And then they tuned in and they were like,
bad. There were some
boy,
of the
oh boy,
Raw
was I surprised.
Raw
That
was-
was the
Raw was one
freaking
of the
worst
worst
Raws
Raws in a long time.
I have ever seen
Maybe
in my
ever.
life. It was
Yeah, it wasn't
terrible. Terrible. Like, I just, not gonna sugarcoat it, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was
Anthony,
bad.
did you watch the AEW pay-per-view, Double or Nothing? Was he on our stream the other night? I don't remember.
I don't remember. He might have been.
Might have been.
I know we had a couple people in there,
Yeah,
so I don't really remember who was in there with us.
I don't either. I have to go back and check.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Anyway,
Yeah, watched it.
What'd you think of it overall?
Oh boy, this was a doozy. Well, this was less of a doozy than yesterday, but it was
It was a little better, but I mean,
was
there's still
still
a
a
lot of dead
doozy.
spots, a lot of things that they need to work on. I mean, hopefully, now that they've had some time to kind of take a look at what they've done and what they've got going, and after watching the pay-per-view, hopefully they look at that and go, okay, we need to change some things.
Yeah.
The thing is the pay-per-view, the Double or Nothing, for as long as it was, it seemed to go by pretty quick. And a lot of that was because of the way they handled matches.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these Raws and SmackDowns, you sit down and you watch them, and it just seems like they drag on.
Sometimes.
I mean, it seems like a 2-hour Raw or 2-hour SmackDown turns into a 6-hour SmackDown. Or a 3-hour Raw turns into a 5-hour Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like
watching a pay-per-view.
they don't... they don't.
It's really funny when even your superstars are making jokes about the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I'll find it because there was a tweet. I'm pretty sure it was Becky Lynch who put up a tweet the other day because she was going to be somewhere for like 6 hours or something like that, like doing signings. Yeah. And she made some joke about how, oh, that's like, I don't even know what it was.
It's like
Let me
sitting
find
through
it.
a pay-per-view or
Yeah.
something.
Let me find it.
Yeah, we thought it was excellent. We thought it was a great show. We'll have to see what happens as we go on. Hopefully WWE steps up their game.
That's what she said. So it was talking about something she was going to be at. She was like, 6 hours, or as WWE likes to call it, a short pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. And she should know because she had to sit there for forever waiting for the stupid midnight main event to happen at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Your 24-hour pay-per-view.
Yep.
12-hour pay-per-view. Jeez.
So with that, I think we've covered the show.
Yeah, only other newsworthy thing is today is Seth Rollins' birthday. Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Yesterday was Natalia's birthday. Awesome. I'm a book of useless information.
Yeah. It's okay. You know what? I'm starting to think more and more that he will.
Well, okay, so it's in Chicago. And I know CM Punk has some, ties to Chicago. Whether he's, from there, I don't really remember. But I remember him being, tied to Chicago somehow. And so that kind of makes me think. And with Jon Moxley, he is tied to Las Vegas. That's where he lives. And so I find it very funny that he made his debut at the Las Vegas show, which would have made it really easy for him to get in there because he wouldn't have had to fly from somewhere else and people wouldn't have known that he was coming. And it would have been a total shock. You know what I'm saying? They could have just snuck him in real easy. Yeah, it's his hometown, Chicago. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to sound stupid, so I didn't say it was his hometown. But yeah, that's what makes me think they could pull another one of those since it's in Chicago, they could 100% sneak him in there and have him debut in AEW.
Yeah.
The other funny thing is that if you look at kind of the advertisement thingy for it, the pay-per-view logo, the pay-per-view poster, it's got the stars on it that look a lot like his. So I don't know, just little things like that.
Well, it's and we'll have to see if he starts putting stuff out on Twitter about hinting at something and see where they go with it.
Yeah. I know the other day it was announced that Jon Moxley is going to work with New Japan.
Yeah.
Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. So they're not tied down, at least right now, to AEW completely, and which makes sense because they're getting their names out there. Not that they need that, but their names are out there that are being used by other organizations to basically it's promotion for AEW before they even start a show.
Yeah. And the only other thing for Fyter Fest, which is the next pay-per-view, I suppose, in June. I thought the next pay-per-view was in July until I looked at stuff and I was like, wait a minute, there's a pay-per-view in June? What? So Fyter Fest, Jon Moxley will have a match against Joey Janela.
Yep.
I saw that today.
Yep. With that, we will be back tomorrow for NXT. Probably the
maybe.
better.
not.
Oh no, we may not be back. We might not be back tomorrow for NXT. We had something going on. Might not get back till late.
Yeah.
If we don't get it tomorrow, we will do our preview
Back
show on
Friday!
for our preview
Takeover!
For Takeover.
I'm so excited. Takeover 25, people. This is a big one. This is so exciting. They have really good matches on the card. I'm real hyped for it. I'm always hyped for NXT. I'm going to tip my chair over, so I probably should stop. But I'm, like, real hype. And I'm so excited.
In case you can't tell, she's hyped.
I'm really excited. Takeover 25 is on Saturday. And it's awesome. I'm ready for it. And it's going to be so good because takeovers are always amazing. And I'm so ready.
So with that, we will
maybe back tomorrow. Might not be back tomorrow. We'll see you on Friday, though.
be back sometime again
100%
this week.
we'll see you on
That's
Friday.
why you click the subscribe button and then click the little bell so then you know when we
Yes,
get
then
live.
you're notified.
Or follow us on Twitter at...
Maven Gleen.
And we also have the Wrestle Story, and I am at Mr. Gleen, so...
Always tweet me, people, because I
Yes.
am always on Twitter,
She
like
answers
every
more than I
single
do.
day from the time I wake
Definitely.
up to the time I go to sleep.
Yeah, she'll answer.
To maybe even in my sleep, I don't really know. So I'm always on Twitter. So if you have any questions or information or concerns or comments, you can send them my way, and I will make sure they get where they need to go.
Yep. So with that, peace out.
Peace.